I'm really excited about this session. My goal really today is to put myself into the shoes of partners and our clients and ask ourselves, why is it that we are even talking about BFO Dynamics? So I want to talk about what I call the world of DRIP, which is data rich but information poor organizations, which leads to, as you all know, ineffective and very slow decision making. I started my BI journey with Cognos PowerPlay, so I go back before people even knew what a cube was. And knowing this background and having been in this space for so many years, I'm really excited with BFO Dynamics because it really transforms our world and our clients' world who have Dynamics F&O or Dynamics BC, or in addition to that, they want to leverage non-F&O or non-BC databases into this powerful, rich data warehouse Power BI architecture. The other thing I want to tell you is that this is really not so much about technology. It's about how these kinds of solutions add value for decision-making for the enterprise. I always thought that as a CXO, we are thinking about adding value to shareholders or stakeholders. So we call it kind of value-based management. And then we spend lots of time building foundation for business information architecture. In today's case, Dynamics ERP that we use, even Dynamics CRM, we use some other productivity tools. And good part about these systems is they collect data. They collect data every minute, every second, every day. So we are deluged with data. And the C-suite is saying, okay, I want to make decisions for managing corporate performance, managing HCM. I need now data that is converted to me in, let's call it digestible chunks, which are actionable so that I make decisions. You know what? But we have Power BI, we have Dynamics. Why can't I just start? Well, the problem is getting data that is manageable, digestible, easy, without tremendous involvement of business analysts and coders and IT is really difficult. We also know a couple of other things on the business side. We know that data alone is not enough anymore to move the needle. Everybody needs insight. More is being asked by our business leaders on a strategic level, meaning don't tell me what happened yesterday or a month ago. Tell me what that information provides you to think about the future. And it cannot be done with rear view Excel-based templates. Okay. On the finance team, the pressure is even higher. Everybody wants the finance team to be proactive instead of reactive because they know we have a great ERP system. The other thing people do not like anymore is asking somebody to send them something, either through email or put it on a SharePoint site or put it on Teams chat. They want to be self-served and they want it to be easy. We find currently in the current state, let's call it a non-BFO Dynamics state, it's simply not possible. We require business analysts and technical people to provide this. Sometimes clients pay us a lot of money to do this, which is good for us, but not really good for the client. We also know that, hey, Power BI and Excel are, of course, great tools. The problem with tools is you could have great tools, but you don't have the right data or the right structured data. And God forbid, you need knowledge of Dynamics tables. Well, we were in this conundrum to say clients are asking for all this decision-making information, okay? So suddenly now we can take this data that is deep down in the bowels of the ERP, overlay BFO Dynamics. What BFO Dynamics gives us, only solution that is extremely cost-effective. It gives plug-and-play intelligence. It gives reporting. It gives visualizations. All the technical aspects of reporting, data warehouse, tabular model, analysis services, the IT speak, I call it, is handled automatically. Any user, a business user I'm talking about here, can start reporting on key KPIs in no time because in addition to connectivity to these hundreds of tables in Dynamics that we cannot decipher, we get with BFO Dynamics largest library of Power BI and Excel reports. Not only that, it has every table in the solution. So if our clients don't like what they see, they just click dimensions, measures, filters, and away they go. So they can modify as many reports as they want without talking to a single person in IT or a knowledgeable person about Dynamics tables. Everything is available in the solution, and the setup is fast. And on top of that, they give a no obligation trial offer. Literally, you have to see it to believe it. It's developed by business leaders. It's available on the desktop and mobile. It goes across all application areas in lightning fast speed to get to these kinds of world-class, best in the business reports and KPIs. So you don't have to ask C-suite, what do you want to see? Because the answer I've heard in last 25 years is, well, everything. Well, no, guys, we have best in class, out of the box dashboards. If these don't satisfy you, you know what? All the dimensions and measures are available for you as well. So really, from data to dashboards in no time. And you get state-of-the-art data warehouse solution as part of the platform that would allow you to use that platform to include additional data sources if that's what you want, okay? And with Power BI Premium and Azure AS, now we can do corporate data and converge that with personal BI. That's kind of my thought process to say, look, we are in a nirvana stage. We got the 365 F&O. We now have the Data Lake from Microsoft. We now have BFO Dynamics from BFO Dynamics. We have Power BI Premium to link corporate data to personal data or do paginations if you would like. We now have literally opened any art of the possible or sea of reporting and integration possibilities. We can ask our analysts to combine the Dynamics data with whatever personal data they want to add to it. Within 10 days, we can get it into the client's hands and tell them, don't worry about data validation, extracting data, training on Dynamics tables. Forget about all that. Start analyzing, start making decisions, because all these investments in Dynamics is useless, to be frank with you. I mean, of course, it will do debits and credits and transactions, but if you can't use it for decision making, like what's the point?
I will try to explain architecture in 3 simple steps: data preparation, data transformation, and consumption. In preparation phase, we are reading the data from the F&O, exporting it into the data lake and injecting into the data warehouse. In transformation phase, we do all the data transformation, run a lot of SQL code to do the content that we would like to present to the users. The users would usually not connect to the data warehouse, but to the tabular model hosted either on premises, in Azure, or in Power BI Premium with their tool. In most cases, this is a Power BI. Let's have a look at these steps a little closer. In preparation phase, it starts with installing extension into your F&O. So export to lake extension is set up together with Azure storage account and Power BI. This is required in order to run the selected tables that are landing as CSV files in the data lake storage. Now, the data lake storage CSV files cannot be read with Polybase, cannot be really usefully consumed with Power BI, so actually the tool of choice is without any doubt Azure Synapse. So this service is reading the CSV files and materializing what we call, or inserting these tables into, in our case, in SQL Data Warehouse. The refresh time is not scheduled. It's set up by Microsoft, so we cannot affect, and also the export does not affect the production process. We expect that current 4 times a day daily update will be live in about second half of the year 2022. The next step is data transformation. It's the process where we take a raw data from F&O in CSV forms that were landed in the staging area and do all the content and necessary transformation so that users enjoy the great content. So this is a SQL engine which is super scalable, can process terabytes of data in hours, and can digest any model. And the whole process is fully automated, so you do not have to worry whether this will be affected by a user or any environment. And the good news is that IT is not involved. It is for the modeling, what is important really is your F&O knowledge. We're not going to look into the SQL scripts, however, we're going to look into the content which is built on the 15 years of experience and supports all application area. So let's have a look into the content now. This would be a starting point for any project, and it means that we are providing this as an out-of-the-box solution, and we are going to look into the few application area, like sales dashboard. Starts with sales and inventory and receivables. We are looking into the swinging monthly sales that are shown as a moving average of 3 and 12 months. We're looking into the share of item sales and free text invoices, some averages, our delivery performance, are we late or on time. When we are comparing against year-to-date, year-on-year, or against budgets. Analysis of new businesses, new customer, returning customer, lost customer, or items. Profit or GP should be equal, as well as all other measures as they are in F&O, to ascent, inventory information, and part of the receivables. Now, as this is an overview, it means that the details are in other reports, and we are going to look into this. So in every case, we are looking into the same data, the same process. We are just looking into from a different perspective, where we are bringing some item table as a customer table. We could be also focused more into item, and we bring the hierarchy that we want to analyze. Now, what is your best customer? You will choose by not one but several KPIs. In sales, we have 300 KPIs to choose from, so that you can see what is good, which is green, so it's like great sales, great year-to-date growth in absolute or in relative terms, or what is bad, a lot of overdue, increase in receivable balance, or not a lot of action, or a lot of invoices is happening here. Now, another view is a view by date, because without any doubt this is the most important dimension. We provide 50 attributes in date dimension, and you may see that apart from the transaction values, we have also the reporting currency. We call this additional currency, where in this case there is a corporate currency selected that is different in exchange rate as one-on-one, as you can see here. And only with these reporting services we provide about 300 KPIs in the reporting currency itself here. It is also understood that at any time we can filter the tables with Power BI with attributes from another table here. Now let's see some of the details. When we are looking into the delivery, we are looking into the days late and amount late. If a document or a line has been late, and that's based on the promised, planned, expected delivery date, then we are logging into the days late, and we can analyze amount late here. And this part is of course available also in the purchasing part, where we are looking into whether our vendors are delivering us goods or services on time, or they are late. So this is a great for delivery performance analysis. We may be into the new business analysis, where we are looking into how many new items or new customers have been sold. And this is a list for a quarter in 2018. These are all demo data, and which, by the way, you can analyze just after this session. You can see I'm logged in here as demo at BFO Dynamics, and we do provide you with absolutely the same experience with the same login as I'm doing this presentation right now. So this is a user that you connect to the Power BI service, and this is the login Power BI. We allow with Zero to get absolutely the same experience as I did. Now we can look into the sales transactions if the customer are changing assortment or any other view. Let's just go through other areas really quick. So we can see in the finance, we can provide information about the financial statement in a visual, tabular or graphical way. We support up to 15 financial dimensions in F&O. And what is also very important for corporates, we have seen the additional currency or reporting currency, as well as date hierarchies as a normal calendar or fiscal date calendar. And this fiscal date calendar also supports the fiscal based time intelligence. What means that calendar date starts in January, the fiscal date starts in July, and we do provide a year-to-date measure. As you can see here, this is a need change or sales. It doesn't matter, year-to-date fiscal, and this is year-to-date variance, which is based on the calendar. It's good because you can see that the performance can be wildly different if there is a exchange rate. Now, in most cases, the KPIs that we have in BFO Dynamics do not require any explanation, are easy to be consumed, and also the navigation through the reports is simple. So if we see here, this is receivable aging by aging buckets over the 2 years that we selected. And if we want to see why is this value here a negative one, every table here is being filtered. We look into the customer value, and you can see this is a customer whose balance in this time was minus 33, and we can go to the document level, which was an open document, should probably not be open, should be applied to an invoice if that was open at that time. Or for example, top-bottom approach, if we are looking into the aging buckets, and we can just ask who is owing us money more than 2 years. We can see this customer, and with one more click we have the documents that are open at that time for more than 2 year time. Now inventory, I would just highlight one feature, that is inventory balance by aging group. So we have a buckets of aging, it means items not moving less than 100 days to a year or more than a year, and the report would look like this. So you can see the inventory value goes down, which makes us happy. Turnover is faster, which is great. However, if we're looking into the total value by aging buckets, we can see that we are successfully decreasing already fast moving items, but definitely not successfully items which are not moving already by default. And furthermore, we can look into like this, where we would say, do we have a problem or not? So what we have is the aging buckets for an item, where aging buckets are here. A few items, 3 items are under 100 days, which is fine. 99 items are not moving 100 days to a year, and 11 more than a year. And if you look into the aging stock value and compare this value to the last purchase price, then we can see that this bucket here has almost double the price as if you would buy this item now, and this is the average purchase price in the period, which actually confirms this. We have also a good feeling to have a feeling how big of an impact this will be from our balance sheet into the profit and loss. We can see what is the frequency of purchasing, selling, last purchase quantity, and other information just in one simple table. Further, we just have a blend into the manufacturing. We are looking into, we have done probably between 50 and 100 manufacturing projects, where we can look at everything that has been consumed by cost groups to everything that we have consumed, produced, and we look into selecting procurement category. Let's say Lady Gaga jeans. This is a manufacturer of textile. We can see the quantities, average cost, how good our plans or bill of materials are, and what we have consumed. So we can at any time we know what was the produced cost, what we have produced, what is the what are the trends, and how are the capacities. We can go to the equipment efficiency and everything that is in the manufacturing, really a lot. And another area that just have a glimpse about this is retail. We have done probably more than 100 retails. So here we are looking into the retail specifics. Retail is everything you have seen in Sales Plus, the retail specific like basket value, receipts, sales distribution by time, voided transactions, a lot of operational statistics. We look into the basket value, how this is done by the quarter, by the hour, by the store. We have two different types of the stores to analyze by time to a quarter, and for example payment habits of your customer, cash versus cards, and on it goes. So all this comes as an out-of-the-box solution on day one from BFO Dynamics, and our approach is that we don't say we have done 1,000 projects and we can deliver whatever we want. We can say, okay, this is experience from 1,000 projects. We will install it, you will consume it for a while in the POC, but then you just tell us if there is something missing, what is missing. So that's the focus on our project. The last part in our architecture is data consumption. This is a business or semantic layer where users would connect with Excel and Power BI or any other tool. We have seen already the user experience, and I'm just going to explain the implementation option of this business layer. So in every case we are hosting the data in the tabular model. What is the hosting environment? It can be on premises, where analysis services is available on existing hardware, and the access is of course the local, no web access. If we are deciding to host the analysis services by Microsoft, then we would pay per service, not per user, and depending on the data size and the query performance that we have provided to our users, we would select the right service. Last and the most interesting option is to deploy the tabular model into the Power BI premium capacity, also hosted by Microsoft, where we are paying per user, not per server. We don't have to pay $5,000 per month, and it can host bigger models. It's really performant. It provides web and mobile, everything that is available in the Pro account plus more. So this is something that gives you the control over the cost and the features without any compromise. BI over content over services, because we can always go to the document level. We don't have to do services on aggregation and aggregations, and the data size can start with gigabytes or terabytes. The SQL will crunch this data. Semantic layer will aggregate this data, and user will be super happy because all their queries are always in memory. And with different implementation option and setting up of your Azure services will help you to save money on Azure service, on Azure subscriptions, and be super flexible for any foreseeable growth in the future. Another very important thing is the convergence of IT managed corporate model and self-service BI. And this is something that is a must in every project, because users would like to connect to other sources and not go to IT for kind of changes. So how it works? Now, as a base, this feature is available in architectures that are provided in tabular model hosted in Azure Analysis Services or in Power BI Premium. So this feature is not available in analysis services hosted on premises. So the data that we have seen are hosted in a tabular model, a corporate model. This one hosts 135 dimensional and 45 transactional table. What a composite model means that we are combining two things, the corporate model and the personal data. How it happens? Now we open a Power BI desktop and we connect to the corporate model in a direct query, not in the live but in the direct query mode, and it makes available all tables from the corporate model in our Power BI desktop file or Power BI desktop model. Then we can combine this corporate source with any data that Power BI can connect or provide. It means like 120 databases or data sources that Power BI provides. Everything is available from Excel, social media on the web, or any other part. And after we are creating the model in our Power BI desktop, we are then, if we are using a Power BI Premium, publishing this model back to Power BI service. It is another data set in Power BI service. If we have Azure analysis services, then we can share the file with our team members. The data in this tabular model, the corporate data, are always in a corporate data source. The data are viewed, they are not traveling or copied from the corporate data source. We keep one version of true, and this is always managed by IT. But this exercise can be done with advanced users who have permission to publish into specific workspace within the Power BI Premium and will not bother IT at all. So this is by SQL BI team the best feature of Power BI for the year 2021. What about the cost? You may say, yeah, this is Microsoft, they must charge you for this. And what we are discussing here are only the monthly Azure costs. There's nothing with the BFO Dynamics license, because this is a part that depends on the many other parameters. So in our case, we have an example of database size in F&O about 100 gigabyte, and the preparation part is not expensive at all to support on a monthly basis. Let's say $20-30 for a data lake storage, and $10-20 approximately per month for Azure Synapse. Now, Azure VM with 8 core and 64 GB of memory would cost you around $2 per hour, and if you run it like 1.5 hours a day, that is 30 hours a month, which is in the range of $60. If you would need a higher VM, then it will be in the range of $90 or $110. Definitely, transformation is also not a considerable cost for the database of this size. Now, the costs occur in an area of analytics, where for this case, this is not the cheapest one. It is just the service that supports tier 2 with 25 GB of disk space or memory space, because database is in memory. For 200 hours, $2 per hour, you would pay $400, and that's also the cost for 20 Power BI Premium user, 720 hour, like 24/7, and the data model size is 100 gigabyte, not 200 it says. So this can be, of course, much cheaper if you do not have that big database, or the number of the user is not that big, and the total cost is in the range of $500.
How do we start this? So the idea is really quite simple. You know what? Don't take a risk. We always tell clients, anybody can do a PowerPoint, even a demo, as great a demo Madden did. Let's install BFO Dynamics in your world. Give you 30 days to play with it. Get insights. It's not going to change anything with your data. There is no performance issues. There is nothing. Now we have Data Lake. Install the Data Lake. We'll help you on that. Okay. And then after 30 days, decide whether you like it or not. But it's your data. We'll spend some time with you. Again, no cost. Your data will get you running there. And after you do the trial, we'll make sure that everything works. Do a full day workshop. We may even customize some Power BI dashboards, because we are here to help our clients get what they want as fast and quickly, and hopefully very inexpensively as they want.